I would say the most important thing is training. And it has to start, in my opinion, with the top executives. And I don't mean by this that they need to learn how machine learning works, or what all the different models are, or the statistical techniques or the math behind them. That they don't need to know that. But what they do need to know is what AI and machine learning can do, and how to spot a really good use of AI and machine learning in their company. And I have a few sort of rules or questions that I think may help with that in the next slide in a second. The other thing I think companies should be doing is identifying the most promising areas where AI may be valuable to their business. And I don't mean 50 or 100, I mean just a handful, 3 to 5. What are the most promising areas where AI could be valuable? And then start a pilot. It doesn't have to be a big, expensive endeavor. It can be, relatively small, relatively cost effective. Just try some things and try to use the data, try to build some models and learn from the results. And I would suggest you look at a few of the emerging technologies. The technology has changed radically just in the last 5 years. What was very, very difficult and very, very expensive 5 or 10 years ago is becoming much, much easier because the technologies are getting so much better. And I would recommend you look at a few of the new ones and evaluate them. Look at Data Robot, look at Data IQ, look at H2O. They all have different strengths, but I think you should evaluate some of the new technologies just so you know what is out there and what is possible. And designate somebody to lead your AI program, or if necessary, hire someone. But you need somebody to take ownership of this. In terms of recognizing a great use of AI, I think there's a few questions that really can help a company quickly determine which are the most promising areas. Number one question is, what is it you want to be able to predict, to know in advance? Can you isolate a very specific event or outcome that it would be valuable for your business to predict, like loan default, like collateral value, like how profitable a client is likely to be, like what a client is likely to need, like what a client's issue likely is when they're contacting you and need help. These are all things that it would be valuable to know in advance, to be able to predict. Second question is, what is the business value of knowing this? Is it quantifiable? And can you measure it after the fact? There's all sorts of very interesting things you can do with AI, but I would suggest that if you can't quantify the business value of being able to predict it, being able to know in advance, then you shouldn't spend time on it. It should have high and quantifiable business value before you begin. The third question you need to ask is, do you have training data? There's all sorts of great ideas, but if you don't have the data to build a model from, then it may be a very significant investment to go and acquire and organize that data before you can build a model. I would suggest you don't start there. You want to start with the high value use cases where you have relevant, good quality training data available to you right now. And I would suggest that there are many of those, regardless of your situation. There are many high value use cases where you've got really good training data available to you right now. The fourth question you need to ask is, how would you insert this predictive capability into your business, your operating model, your business process? In some cases, that is very clear and it's relatively easy. In some cases, that may require pretty significant re-engineering of your business process. I wouldn't start with the use cases that require massive re-engineering. I would start with the ones that your existing business process can use virtually as is. And the last thing I would ask is, is there somebody who is willing to champion the development and testing and implementation of this particular use of AI? I have seen many great uses of AI fail because they were thrust upon an unenthusiastic business executive. Before you try to take this on, make sure that whoever it be, the functional head, the line of business head, is enthusiastic about using the AI and machine learning capability in their business, and is prepared to take on the change management required and to champion the implementation of the model, the training, the communication, making sure that there's adoption. These are things that require sponsorship, and there needs to be a champion who is willing to take that on. And if you don't have a strong champion, I would suggest you deprioritize those use cases.